Good morning, students. Today I'll be taking your poem Fire and Ice. This is the second poem of your class 10 NCERT book. This poem is written by an American poet, Robert Frost.
So, dear students, Robert Lee Frost, he was born on March 26, 1874, and he died on January 29, 1963. And he was an American poet. Frost was the one writer who was honored frequently during his lifetime and is the only poet to receive 4 Pulitzer Prizes for poetry. I repeat, he is the only poet to receive 4 Pulitzer Prizes for poetry.
Now, students, I would like to tell you that why Robert Frost has written this poem. Fire and Ice is a very short rhyming poem of just 9 lines, and Robert Frost has written this poem in the year 1920. Probably he was inspired by Dante's Inferno, Canto 32, the first book of his 14th century Divine Comedy, which deals with the subject of sinners in a fiery hell up to their necks in the lake of ice. Other sources claim that the poem was created following a conversation with astronomer Harlow Shapley about the end of the world. The noted astronomer, when questioned by Frost, said that either the sun will explode or the earth will slowly freeze. Now, I would like to recite the poem Fire and Ice. Some say the world will end in fire. Some say in ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction, ice is also great and would suffice. So, dear student, now I will be taking up the explanation part. We will be moving stanza wise. So, first 4 lines I'll be explaining. Before I take up the explanation of the stanza, I would like to explain you the rhyme scheme. Some say the world will end in fire. So, which is the last word here in this stanza? Fire. Some say in ice. Ice is not rhyming with fire. So, for fire we give A and for ice we write B. From what I have tasted of desire. So, students, fire is rhyming with desire. So, we write A for both. I hold with those who favor fire. Fire is again rhyming with desire. So all these 3 words are rhyming with each other and we write A for them, for these words. And for ice, it is not rhyming with any of the word. So we write B for it. Now, explanation. Some say the world will end in fire. Some say in ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. The poem expresses the profound idea that the world would end in either of 2 ways, either by ice or fire. So one group is of the opinion, like some say, the world will end in fire. So they are saying that someday the earth will get so heated up that it would lead to fire and it will be destroyed. On the other hand, the second group says that if the temperature goes down to an extent that makes life on earth impossible and it would have the same catastrophic effect. The poet then compares fire and ice with the destructive features of human emotions. He compared fire with desire. And see the difficult words here. Desire means a strong feeling of wanting to have something or wishing for something to happen. And what is the meaning of favor? Approval. Means he is supporting both sides. Like one reason of catastrophe is fire and another is desire or ice. Fire means desire and another reason of destruction is ice. Now students, let's take up the second stanza. Second stanza says, but if it had to perish twice, means if earth has to be destroyed 2 times, then I think I know enough. I is a poet here. Enough of hate to say that for destruction, ice is also great and would suffice. So then by not waiving off the first option of fire, he is taking ice as a second reason of destruction. So he is saying that ice would be equally competent in ending this world. So he is bringing about a contrast between ice and hatred. The human capability of insensitivity and hatred has the potential of inner destruction, though very slow. But it has the same effect that desire has on us. So fire and desire. Desire is a human emotion. So same way, ice is equivalent to hatred, again an human emotion. So if given an option between fire and ice would be just as good, as sufficient as fire to destroy this beautiful world. So meanings are perish means die and suffice means be sufficient. And students, again we will be looking at the rhyme scheme the way we have done for the first stanza. So here twice is rhyming with ice and hate is rhyming with great, and suffice and twice. So twice, ice and suffice are rhyming with each other. So we have written B here, and hate and great, they are rhyming with each other. So we have written C here. So students, it is very important to understand poetic devices used by the poet in his poem. So why these devices are used in the poem? These are used to make a poem more powerful. Poetic devices help the poet to decorate his poem so that we people like it or it is easy for us to understand. These devices make the meaning of the poem more clearer. So students, these are few poetic devices which are used in this poem. Try to understand these, like assonance. Assonance is a repetition of vowel sound in same line. So the repetition is at different places in different words, like the long sound of O in I hold with those who favor fire. So repetition of the same vowel O in these words, in this particular line. Next is alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of a consonant sound at the start of 2 or more closely placed words. Example, favor, fire. So sound of F is there. World will. So here sound of W is. So this poetic device is known as alliteration. Next poetic device which is used here is imagery. Imagery is used to make readers perceive things involving their 5 senses. Example, some say the world will end in fire. So imagination. To say that for destruction, ice is also great. Again, imagination. So this poetic device is known as imagery. So next poetic device which poet has used. See, 9 lines he has used so many poetic devices to make this concept clearer. So anaphora, the repetition of word or expression at the start of 2 or more consecutive line. Example, some say is repeated at the start of line 1 and 2. So student, this poetic device is known as anaphora. So next very important poetic device which is used by Robert Frost is personification. Yes, personification means when we give human qualities to inanimate objects. So in this poem, fire and ice are capable of destruction. Thus the poet personifies fire and ice by giving them mind and power to destroy our beautiful earth. Enjambment. It is defined as the thought or a clause that does not come to an end at a line break. Rather, it moves over to the next line. Example, from what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. So this is called enjambment. So dear students, let us discuss about themes of the poem. There are several themes in the poem Fire and Ice, which is written by Robert Frost, like fear, love, hate and choices. And he conveys a very simple but very important theme about human behavior, human emotions like hatred and desire. He even finds humor and detachment in relating the different methods in which the world could be destroyed, and thus increasing the impact of underlying message. And in the end, students, the poem leaves the reader guessing as to which choice, fire or ice, is a better mode of destruction of the earth, as they are both equally damaging. So dear students, let us recapitulate the beautiful poem written by Robert Frost, Fire and Ice. It has only 9 lines, but it has a very, very deep meaning. So Robert Frost poem, Fire and Ice, expresses the profound idea that the world would end in either of two ways, either by ice or fire. Both the components are compared with self-destructive human emotions, hatred and desire. The poem very artistically underpins the philosophy that we let our emotions rule us, and if do not control them, they will surely destroy everything around us. Similarly, he thinks fire and ice both are just as competent in bringing the world to a catastrophic end. Fire and Ice is one of Robert Frost's shortest poems, but gives the reader much to ponder on. Casual in tone, with glitches, it introduces to the reader the profound idea that the world could end in one of the two ways, with fire or ice, through desire or hate. Thank you so much.